Hey YouTube, welcome back to the farm today. Alright, it is August 18th. I'm out here this morning early. The sun's still starting to come up back over here. As you can see behind me, this is the potato patch. You know, and some of the videos before I talked about how we had no rain in the month of June and the garden was really struggling. Well, we've had nearly 6 weeks of rain, 2 or 3, 4 days a week. And it's been too wet to do anything. I think in the month of June we had 7/10 of an inch of rain. In the month of July we had 10 inches of rain, and already in August now we've had 3 or 4 inches of rain. So it's crazy because there's been so much rain. The garden has been too wet to get in here and do anything. So we've had 4 days of dry weather now. I've got to get in here and get all these weeds knocked down. I was going to bush hog them down, but I'm worried I was going to damage the potatoes that are under the ground, under the soil level there. So I'm going to go in here with a weed eater, and I'm going to weed eat all this stuff down, and then the neighbor is going to come over this evening with his Ford 8N tractor and his potato plow, and we're going to plow all these potatoes out of the ground. I just hope they haven't rotten from laying in the soil here, you know, with all this water we've had. So let's get to work. I'm going to get this cleared up, and then we'll see you back here in a little bit. Man, I am wiped out. My arms are still shaking. That was a lot of weed eating, cutting all that tall stuff down. Oh, anyway, I got it all cut down. Sun popped out on me here in the last 20 minutes or so, and it got really hot, but thankfully I was almost done at that point. I'm going to let the stuff I just cut down bake in the sun and get some of this moisture off of it and dry out a little bit. And we're going to come over this afternoon after it sets out here for 5 or 6 hours and dries and does its thing. We'll come back with rakes and pitchforks and whatever. Rake all the stuff I cut down off the garden. That way whenever Jack, the neighbor, comes over with his tractor and his potato plow, there's not all that stuff laying on top. And so he has an easier time getting the plow cut down into the soil. Soil's probably going to be packed, well, it shouldn't be packed down too much because it's been so overgrown I haven't been able to walk on it or anything, so we'll see. I don't know. A lot of years it's packed down hard from where I walk up and down the rows pulling weeds and things. Well, it was too wet to do that this year, so the weeds just took over. So I don't know. I don't know whether the soil's going to be packed hard like it normally is or if it's going to be loose, because some years it's packed hard and I actually have to stand on the potato plow to give more weight for it to dig down into the soil. So I don't know, we'll just see how it goes. But I gotta get to the house. I gotta get started working this morning. I'm a little bit late this morning. I'm about 30 minutes late getting started at work, so but thankfully I had no meetings or anything. But I'm gonna get up there and we'll see you back here in the garden this afternoon. Alright everybody, hey, we're back out here at the garden now. It is now 6:30. I'm waiting on neighbor Jack to show up over here with his tractor and the potato plow. So as you saw in the clip earlier, we did rake all the stuff out of here. The sun was beating down on us. Here's Taryn. So she's going to help with all this. We're going to have all hands on deck this evening trying to get this done before dark. We've got a little under 2 hours till it gets dark, or right at 2 hours maybe till it gets dark. So we got a lot to do. We're going to run through here with the plow. We're going to start trying to do a first pass, plow the potatoes out, and then we're going to go behind it with potato rakes and just rake through what we plow to find any, you know, stragglers that may have been left behind. So we're going to wait on Jack, but we're getting ready to start hitting it. Alright everybody, well that's it for the potato harvest today. You can see what we got here out of this one garden. There's still 2 more gardens up here that we have to dig out of that we're going to get probably in the next week or 2. But just doing a rough estimate based on the size of these crates and some just general rule of thumbs that you get for how much these things can hold, we're looking at between probably 350 to 400 pounds of potatoes here from this one garden. So these others up here, you know, I'm going to guess if they produced anywhere comparable to this one, it's probably going to be another 120 pounds of potatoes, give or take. So it's about the same as last year. We got roughly 1 pound for every linear foot of potato row that we put out. And so this one here had about 375 feet of potato rows put in it, and so that works out pretty close. If we're between 350 and 400 pounds, and then these other rows up here are about another 125 to 150 row feet. So a whole bunch of potatoes. We're going to get these home and get a fan blowing over these as soon as we can to get them dry, because the ground was still a little wet. We got to get Jack his potatoes over there. I've got to figure out how I'm going to get all these loaded in the back of the truck. And the cicadas are out making all kinds of noise now, so it's getting a bit noisy here as we get close to the end of the day, but we got it all done before dark. I got to get these loaded up, and we got to get out of here and get these stacked up in the house with the fan blowing over them. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Ask that you hit the like and subscribe button. Leave a comment if you got any questions about how we do this. We try to document everything that we're doing, so, but if you didn't see it in a previous video, feel free to ask, and I'll do whatever we can to answer it. So anyway, have yourself a wonderful day, and God bless.